this video today is all about reptiles. And this first reptile that I have is one of my pet lizards, and it is called a crested gecko. Now this crested gecko, his name is Cutie, because isn't he just a cutie? So say hi to Cutie. Hi everybody, how are you? Now Cutie, he is a lizard that likes to live up in the trees. We call that an arboreal lizard. So an arboreal animal likes to live up really high. And so what Cutie will do is when he wants to get to a higher spot, he will climb to get to a higher spot. But if he doesn't feel like climbing, there's another way that a lizard can get to a higher spot, and that is by this way. Now watch this, because besides climbing, Cutie can also jump. Did you guys see that? Did you see how he jumped from my hand to my apron? Isn't that amazing? Now, the reason that Cutie can stick to things is because of these special little feet that he has. Now, on each one of his toes, he has something called a toe pad. And these toe pads help him to stick to things. Now, the other thing about Cutie that you notice is that he doesn't have a long tail. Now, do lizards usually have a tail? They do. Now, the reason that he doesn't have his tail is because something happened and his tail fell off. Some lizards will lose their tails when they're trying to stay protected. Now, there are some lizards that can grow back a new tail, like the leopard gecko. But the crested gecko, if his tail falls off, he will never grow back a new tail. He'll always have a short tail. The other thing I want to point out are his beautiful eyes. And if you look at Cutie, he has Cutie. He's just hopping around. But he has beautiful eyes. Look into his eyes. What Cutie doesn't have on his eyes is he doesn't have eyelids, which means Cutie cannot blink his eyes. Can you guys all blink your eyes for me? Blink them really fast. So Cutie cannot blink his eyes. So instead of blinking his eyes to keep his eyes clean and to keep them wet, you know what a crested gecko has to do? He has to lick his own eyeball. Can you believe it? Can you boys and girls try to lick your own eyeball? I can't lick. So he licks his own eyeball. Isn't that awesome? Well, we're going to put Cutie back because I have another lizard for you today. Check out this next lizard. This next lizard is my awesome bearded dragon lizard, and his name is Pete, so say hi to Pete. Hi, everybody. Now, Pete is a very friendly lizard. Bearded dragons usually are, but he is very good at making himself look scary. And one of the things that Pete can do is when he wants to make himself look scary is he can take all the skin that's underneath his chin. Can you see all that skin? He doesn't like me touching it. But do you see all that skin underneath his chin? When he wants to, he can blow up his chin. Just like you can blow up your cheeks. Can you try it for me? Blow up your cheeks. Go. Whew. And when we blow up our cheeks get really big. But when he blows up his chin gets big. But it also turns very dark. It'll almost turn black. It'll make him look like he has a beard underneath his chin. And that's how he got his name, the bearded dragon. And I'm just going to show you Pete. It's on the back. Look at that. The other thing that Pete can do is if you look at Pete, he doesn't look too wide. But if he wanted to make himself look bigger, all he would have to do is flatten out his tummy. And you see how wide he looks now? It makes him look a lot bigger. And hopefully that'll scare away other animals. Well, we're going to give Pete here a little snack. Would you like to see him eat a snack? You would? Great. Well, the snack that we're going to give Pete is one of his favorite snacks. We gave one of these to the Pac-Man frog in the last video. And Pete is going to eat a tasty superworm. What do you think? Do you think you'd like to eat a superworm? No? All right, well, Pete does, and I think he is ready. Pete, are you ready for your worm? All right, friends, let's watch as Pete eats his worm. Did you see that? Can you hear that? Should we give him one more? Here's one more, Pete. Let's see if he eats it. Look at what he uses. He uses his tongue. Slimy, yet satisfying. All right, well, we're gonna put Pete back because I have more animals for you. The next animal that I have for you is an animal that loves to give hugs. And this animal is my pet snake. And this snake is called a pastel ball python. And her name is Honey. So can you say hi to Honey? Say hi, Honey. Now, Honey, she is a very friendly snake. Ball pythons usually are. But if they get scared, what they can do is they can curl themselves up into a ball. And that's how they got their names, the ball python. So just like the crested gecko can lose his tail and the bearded dragon can show off his beard, the ball python snake will curl up into a ball when she feels scared. Now Honey here, she is about 4 years old. So she is going to get a little bit bigger than this. And when I first got her, she was just a little tiny baby snake, but now she's grown and she's super sweet. And if you look at her, you can see all of her wonderful colors. Isn't that beautiful? And look at the pattern on her. The other thing about snakes is you may notice that Honey is always sticking out her tongue to us. Can you see her sticking out her tongue to you? Now the reason that snakes stick out their tongue is not because they're trying to hurt you. All they're trying to do is smell you. They use their tongue to smell. And so right now, Honey's trying to smell you. I don't know if she can smell you through the screen. Maybe. Well, I'm going to put Honey around my neck so she can give me a little bit of her hug. Now, boys and girls, do you like to give hugs? You do? Well, make sure that you give your family a great big hug to let them know how much you appreciate them. See? Honey gives me hugs. Well, we're going to put Honey back, but I do have one more reptile for you to meet. And the only thing I'm going to tell you is that this last reptile is going to be a big surprise. Well, Horicon friends, I am here with our last animal, and this last animal is my pet tortoise. And this tortoise is Stanley, and Stanley is a giant African sulcata tortoise. Now, I know you can't tell from the video, but he weighs in over 50 pounds. Can you believe it? He's huge. And you can see that Stanley is enjoying a little lunch this afternoon. And what this type of tortoise likes to eat is he likes to eat a lot of plants because they like to eat anything that's green. So right now he's munching and crunching on some leaves called collard greens, but he'll also eat grass, especially in the summer. So if you're ever out and about in Horicon and come near my house, you might see Stanley out in my yard, just eating some grass. Can you hear that? Crunch and munch. What do you think, Stanley? Do you like living in Horicon? Is it a good place to live? I think he approves. Well, Horicon friends, I hope that you enjoyed this video with different reptiles. We saw the crested gecko Cutie, the bearded dragon Pete, we saw the ball python snake Honey, and we saw Stanley, the African sulcata tortoise. And remember, these videos were made possible by the Horicon PTO. So make sure that you say thank you and that you support them. As always, this is Miss Kim saying, stay possum!